guys, today we are going to be doing a multi-palette bingo, which I haven't done in such a long time and I'm so excited to do another one. And who better for this to be a collab with than my friend Betty Jean. If you guys don't know who Beaut Bean is, that is her channel name. She is one of my best friends on YouTube. We have done so many collabs in the past. I want to say this is probably our 6th collab maybe? I really don't know. I've completely lost track by now, so that tells you a lot about how much I love her. So if you are unfamiliar with her channel, which I don't know why you would be, because if you're watching me, you're probably watching her as well, because I feel like we're quite similar in the content that we make. She maybe focuses a little bit more on the tutorial side rather than the review side, but she still reviews a lot of the same brands that I do. She's very into indie makeup. She loves that stuff. She does a lot of multiple looks, one palette kind of videos, which I know you guys love. She does plenty of get ready with me's. She does plenty of tag videos. She does plenty of collection videos and just everything that's fun about makeup, you know? So I think that you should absolutely go check out her channel. She is one of the most hardworking YouTubers that I know. She puts up so many videos that I can't even keep track anymore. And also she is very active on her Instagram, so I will link both her YouTube and her Instagram down in my description box. So basically, if you are unfamiliar with a multi-palette bingo, what we're going to do is we're going to pick out palettes and then we're going to draw random shades from those palettes and then do a look with. So this is going to be a bit of a twist on a multi-palette bingo because we decided that we wanted to do only palettes that had been an influencer collab with a brand. She had 3 palettes in her collection, so those are the ones that she's going to be using. So I chose 3 different ones that I had in my collection that I'm going to be using, so we were not going to be overlapping the palettes. So the ones that I have chosen to use today is first off a palette that I have mentioned in one of my recent ranking videos. I don't know if that one is up yet, but if not, it's coming very soon. This one was ranked in the last 13, I think, palettes that I bought. Is the, I always forget how to say this name, is the Elision, is that how you say that? Elision Palette by Copacetic. This was in a collaboration with a small Instagrammer called Basket Case Beauty. This is what the palette looks like. So it has 5 mattes and 4 kind of duochromy shimmers. So this is one of the palettes that we're going to use. I'm also going to use the Conspiracy palette, which was a collaboration between Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, which I'm sure you all know. I don't think I need to show you guys the palette, but if you don't know what this palette looks like, this is it. So those are the 2 first ones. And I also wanted to include the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe collab. So I'm sure you've all seen this one as well. This is the 2nd palette that she came out with. I've actually decluttered the first one because I just was never using it. It just wasn't really my color scheme anymore. So those are the 3 palettes that we're going to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 shades from each palette and then we'll have 6 to work with. So I think we're just going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to start with the Elision palette and I'm going to record my screen here so that we can do some drawing. I'm going on random.org. That is the place that I like to use for drawing random numbers, but obviously any site that has the same thing will work. So let's see, we're gonna put in 1 through 9 because that palette has 9 shades and we're going to generate. So we're gonna use number 1 in that palette and number 6. I'm just gonna draw all of the shades and I will swatch them all out afterwards. So let's go into the Conspiracy palette. This one has 18 shades, I wanna say. 6, 12, 18. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 through 18 on this one. 1 through 18, and we're gonna be using shade number 4. And shade number 2. And then in the Jaclyn Hill palette, this one has, I don't know how many shades this has. 30 shades, I want to say. I don't know. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 5. That's 30. Okay, so we're going to go 1 through 30, and we're going to be using shades number 18 and 30. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all of those out so you can see what we have to work with here. I'm very excited because I haven't done one of these in such a long time and I've just been craving it. So in the Elision palette we have shade number 1, which is this beautiful purple, as well as shade number 6, which is sort of like a white blue duochrome. It's a very kind of chalky and dry shade, so it's a little bit tricky to work with, but these are going to be our first 2 shades. So you can see this doesn't swatch very well. This one is beautiful, but it is a little bit on the flaky side. Okay, so in the Conspiracy palette, we have shade number 2 and shade number 4. If you're looking at this and thinking, wow, that's so boring. Me too. First shade is going to be My Pills, which is just a very pale pink. And we also have Diet Root Beer, which is a kind of like a caramelly brown, which so boring, but like don't really have a choice, you know? So these are the shades that we have in this palette. I will say that they kind of go together, so I'm not like super mad at it, but I wish that we have a little bit more depth. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch out the ones that we have in the Jaclyn Hill palette. Okay, so we have a little more luck in the Jaclyn Hill palette. At least we'll be able to add some depth here. So this is shade number 18, and then we have shade number 30, which is the black, which makes my heart so happy. So let's go ahead and finish off the swatches here, and we can see what the actual color story here is going to be. So, oh, that is such a beautiful color. Wow. Okay, so I think that this is way more fun than I thought it was going to be. Do you see how bad that color swatch? That is quite bad. But I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes. So I'm going to use my Smashbox primer. I actually have bought my Natasha Denona primer again because I just really like having it in my collection. So I will show you what I mean about this Smashbox primer just having such little product in it. So this one has 2.5 milliliters of product, which is nothing. It's like way less than any concealer that you have in your collection. And then the Natasha Denona one actually has 4 milliliters of product. So 2.5 mils, 4 mils. You can see what I mean? Like, I just go through this thing so fast. This is such a teaser. Like, you're lying. You're making it look like there's so much more product in this than there really is. And that just makes me mad. So I'm going to use the Smashbox primer because I think I like it a little bit more than my Natasha Denona one, but it's just not really worth the money if you ask me. So you know what I just realized? I realized that we only have one shimmer, and the shimmer is a topper shade, which I don't love that because I don't like topper shades. Ah, man, this is going to be kind of tricky because I don't really know how to work with those. So I'm gonna really have a long think about what to do because now I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and then I realized I only had one shimmer, and now I don't know what to do anymore. So my problem here is that I feel like I can't really use this shade as a transition shade to any of these other shades because it's simply just of the same depth. And I also know, like, if I try to mix the brown into the purple, like the purple is just not going to stick to my eye if I try to blend it into or build it on top of anything else. So I need to really use that on its own, and I also just don't want to have the brown on the lower lash line only because that's just kind of boring. So this is a shade that I don't really know what to do with, which you would think that would be the easiest one to use. I'm thinking I could use this as a transition shade to the black. That's pretty much the only way I could use it as a transition shade and not just like on its own or next to something else. So I think I might do that in my crease and then do the pops of color on my lower lash line with the orange and the purple. Maybe that's what I'll do, and then I'll do a cut crease, put this on top of the cut crease and layer this on top. Maybe that could be kind of fun. Not really sure, but I think that's what I'm going to do because I'm kind of stuck and I just need to start. So I'm gonna first go into the Conspiracy palette here, and I'm going to grab the shade, and I'm going to basically put this in my crease, but also build it up to a nice intensity while still having a good blend here. And then I'm going to use the black to deepen this upwards, so it's going to be quite intense, like, I don't know if you can call it glam smoky eye on top, but they do a chrome blue on the lid, and then fun pops of color on the lower lash line. Like, I think this could end up being a fun look in the end, but I don't know. We're just gonna have to take it one color at a time here and see where we end up. But I'm not excited to use some of the shades in the Copacetic palette, if I'm being completely honest, because I find them to be kind of hard to work with, which is a shame because it's a really, really fun palette, but it's just not my favorite formula. So let's do another question of the day here. I did ask on my Instagram a while back for you guys to just give me random questions so I would have something to talk about while I do my makeup in these videos. So this one says, how's your quarantine going? Well, that's quite a loaded question. I'm taking the black now from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just going to use that to deepen this up with, as well as in my outer corner. As for my quarantine, I want to say that I'm doing a lot better now than I was a few weeks ago when all of this started and things were like really getting serious and everybody was told to stay home and like social distancing and all that. Like, I was quite overwhelmed, and even though my day-to-day life really didn't change at all because I work from home, I just stay at home all the time anyway, so nothing really changed in my life. But I think my problem was that I was just following everything way too closely and watching the news all of the time, and it really got to me, and it just put me in a really bad place where I think I actually experienced anxiety for the first time in my life, and let me tell you, it was not fun. So I literally had to just stop watching all of the news, and after not having watched the news now for probably just over 2 weeks, I want to say, I still kind of get updates from, the the people I live with because they follow it and I somewhat know what's going on, but I don't constantly check the news for updates, and I don't know really what the numbers are most places in the world because honestly it's just not good for my well-being to know all that stuff. So my quarantine is going a lot better now. The weather is starting to get really nice here. I've been able to go out for walks most days, obviously staying away from people. I'm the kind of person who's like running across the street when I see someone else, and people probably think I'm crazy, but like, better be safe than sorry, you know? So yeah, I've really just been taking it easy on myself and allowing myself to just not feel the pressure to do so much. I need to listen to how my body feels and how I feel mentally, and then do what is best for me in that sense. And for me, that is just allowing myself to take it easy and not do all of the things that maybe I feel like I should be doing, at least if it's something that's voluntary that I'm choosing to do, like YouTube, you know, like I can choose not to make videos. I don't have to make videos. No one is forcing me. This is something I really enjoy doing, and I want to make sure that when I do it, I actually do enjoy it and it doesn't become something that I do because I feel like I have to. So I've kind of just been taking it easy. Honestly, I have been doing quite a bit of cleaning, which is something I never really do, but it's felt kind of nice to be productive in a different way than maybe I normally would. And I've also been watching a lot of TV shows, gotten into watching more YouTube again, which is nice because not everybody is talking about this crap anymore. I just couldn't for the first 2 weeks of all of this. Like, it was literally everywhere. Like, everybody was talking about it. It was driving me bonkers, but I'm feeling a little bit better now, as you can probably tell, because I've been posting a lot more videos. And it's also helped me to schedule a lot of collabs, because that way I don't really have a choice. Like, I just have to film, you know? So if there are more collabs coming, that's why. So this isn't completely perfect yet, but I'm gonna go in with some eyeshadow primer on my lower lash line here, just because I know that that purple is going to need it. And I'm gonna do the lower lash line before I do my lid, just so I can kind of see how it is looking. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do the purple on the outer portion of my lower lash line and then the orange on the inner part. So I'm taking this on a smudging brush here, and I'm just going to start by packing this on. I do not want to do a lot of blending with this color because I know it's just going to blend away to nothing. So I feel like this looks okay. It's performing a little bit better than what I was expecting. I do have a little bit of fallout though. So for the inner corner of my lower lash line, I'm going to grab the shade right here, which is called My Man. And I'm just going to put that next to where I put down that purple here, just for like an extra pop of color. And then when I put this down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a half cut crease, and I'm going to set my cut crease with that light pink shade and then layer the duochrome on top. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Hopefully it's going to look okay. And for my cut crease, I'm going to use my P. Louise base just because I have it and I don't like using it as an eyeshadow primer, so I just use it for my cut creases so I can get more use out of it. And as usual, I'm just going to fast forward how I do my half cut crease, because this is just so dependent on your own eye shape and how you like your cut creases to be, that it's really hard for me to explain how to do a half cut crease if you have a different eye shape than I do. And usually, even if someone has hooded eyes, everyone's eye shape is different still in where they have like most of their hoods and stuff. So that sounded like a weird sentence, but I think you know what I mean. So I feel like my crease cutting got a little bit out of hand today, and maybe I cut it too high, but we'll see what happens when I go in with some shadows. So I actually think what I want to do is I want to not only layer that light pink, but I want to take a little bit of the purple that I put underneath my eye to kind of tie in between that light pink and the black. So I'm going to start by placing a little bit of the purple just right where the black is. And I think that since I have that topper, it's going to glide very nicely both over this color as well as the light pink. And it also doesn't matter if this one gets a little bit patchy, which I can tell that it is already. And I'm also going to go back in with the black because this is looking kind of crazy right now. But it's just going to take a lot of back and forth to get this to look okay, I think. And I really feel like this is another one of those looks where it's like, trust the process, it's going to come together, because right now I am doubting myself because this is not looking all that great, but it's okay. We have plenty of time to fix this. I mean, this purple is just not good. I'm so sorry, but I don't like it. For the rest of my lid, I'm gonna take my pills here and I'm just going to fill in the rest of where I put down the concealer. Let's see if this topper shade is going to save this atrocious look, because this is not looking good. So I'm gonna go into this one again from the Copacetic palette. And I literally cannot pick up this color with anything. I've even tried one of those silicone applicators. Let me see if I have a sponge tip applicator, because I'm getting nothing out of this shade. All right, I found one. I'm gonna use one of these. I hate these things. I tend to just get fallout all over my face with them because it just picks up shadows so unevenly. So I have a little bit on here. Am I supposed to spray this? Can I spray this? I'm gonna try to, because I don't want to have this all over my face. And I'm just gonna try to basically layer this all over my lid here where I have those shadows. Do you see like how chalky that is? I was gonna film something else after this, but looking at this, it's so bad. I'm gonna take my finger. I hate using my finger. I literally just cannot stand it. But it doesn't look like there is any other way to use the shadow, which makes me really sad. But it's definitely looking a little bit better with my finger here. Okay, it's not terrible. I'm gonna go back into the black and just make sure that the outer corners are the way that I want them to be. I think we're at a point where this looks okay at least, so I think I'm gonna finish off my eyes. Need to put something in my waterline. I'm not really sure what's gonna go with this look. I'm thinking to kind of tie in everything that I have on the upper lid underneath my eye and use a lavender. So maybe I'll do that. This is Crybaby from ColourPop. Gonna do this, do some liner and mascara, and then I'll come back and we can finish off the rest of the face, do some highlighter, some blush, some lipstick, and hopefully this look is going to come together in the end. Okay, so the eyes are all done, and in honor of Betty Jean, because she always wears lashes, I put on some lashes, because I honestly have a full drawer of lashes, mostly just brands that have sent it to me without me saying I wanted them, and I never wear lashes, so I always feel bad. Every time I look at that drawer, I'm like, crap, maybe I should like just wear them once in a while to get some wear out of them. So I put on some lashes, and I actually think that this is the best lash application that I've ever done. Are they comfortable? Not really. They're kind of poking me, but I think I can live with it. And it's not like I'm going anywhere and I can just take them off after. No big deal. So these are the Amour lashes from Alter Ego. I do have a code with Alter Ego, which is not affiliated if you guys were ever interested in buying anything from them. All of my affiliate codes are down in my description box. But I really like how this is looking. So for my face, the palette that I want to use is one that I actually got sent in a PR package from Juno & Co. This is the packaging. I will of course take it out, but they also sent me their Moonshine Miracle Cream, which looks like this. It is just, oh, this container is so beautiful. I used it today for the first time. Obviously, I don't really have much of an opinion because it's a cream and I need to see how it wears, but going on, it felt really, really nice. It's kind of a thick consistency, which is not really something that I go for in my creams because I do have oily skin. So usually I prefer my creams to be like gel-based and not water-based, and I'm pretty sure this is a water-based cream, but it did sink into my skin very nicely. It says that it can be used before makeup, after makeup, before bed, whenever you want to, really. So I use it as my kind of primer and moisturizer today, and I really like how my foundation looks on top of this. But of course, I'm gonna have to keep trying it. So the other thing they sent me was this face palette. So I want to show this to you because this is so cute. So this is the Cherry Bomb palette. I didn't know they were sending me this, so when I got the package and I opened it, I was kind of blown away because this is what the palette looks like. So it's basically a bronzer, a blush, and then 2 highlighters, I'm pretty sure. I did forget that I had a bronzer in this palette, so I already have a little bit of bronzer on my face, but I think that we can put on a little bit more just to kind of test it out. So I'm gonna dip into this shade right here. I think this palette is so beautiful because it's obviously meant so that the person who buys it can use all of the shades in it. I don't know if they have one for deeper skin tones. I mean, I hope they do. But I really appreciate when they make palettes that are, you know, supposed to be used for one skin tone only. And of course I want there to be a range of those palettes, but I hate face palettes that are like all-inclusive, you know, because that way there's always going to be a shade or two that every person of every skin tone can't use because it's either too light or too dark. But I can easily get away with using all of these shades, and I think that is amazing. Obviously you can't really see what the bronzer did, but I feel like it looks okay, but I already has a bronzer on, so we're gonna kind of ignore that. So I'm gonna go into the blush side here, And I think this is more of a shimmery blush, which I really, wow, that is very pigmented. I hope this is going to blend out. Oh, that is beautiful. Wow, that has such a nice shine to it. It's almost like, it almost seems like it's a highlighter formula, but used as a blush. It definitely kind of works as both. I am gonna go in with a highlighter as well, but this is like a very shimmery blush. Like this is almost more shimmery than Natasha Denona blushes, which her blushes are insane as well, but I think this looks really cute, and I think that the color looks really nice with my eye makeup as well. And I feel like the eye makeup came together. I don't know if it's just throwing on big lashes that makes it look more complete, but that's what everyone else seems to do, and their looks always come out good, so I don't know, but I kind of like it. So let's just go ahead and swatch both of these highlighters now so we can see what they look like. So this is the champagne one. That is stunning. That looks very blinding, and this is more of like a glittery sort of topper maybe. I don't know, but I think that's the one that I'm going to use. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here. That is very blinding. Very blinding and very icy, but once you blend it out, I think that it might be a little bit too light for me, but I think that looks very nice and wet looking. I do feel like this would probably be a little bit better used as like a bit of a topper, at least for me and my skin tone, but that is very, very intense. I'm gonna go over this again with a little bit of this blush and just kind of merge those together, because I feel like that's also going to darken up this highlighter a little bit here, because I feel like I need it. I feel like it's just a little bit too light for me. I'm also going to take a little bit of this highlighter and just put that in my inner corner here, just to get a bit more of a lightness in there. And I'm also going to wrap this around to my lower lash line. I really like this as an inner corner highlight. This is beautiful. I'm for sure going to keep playing with this palette because I think this is so pretty. So that's, I guess, the look all done except for lipstick. One sec, I'm gonna go grab a color. I think I'm gonna use this one from Colourpop. This one is in the shade La Lady. It's one of their bullet lipsticks. So this is the completed look. I do feel like it came together in the end. It was quite the struggle to get here, not gonna lie. Mostly just because this palette just isn't really my thing. I'm so sorry again. I really don't like saying bad things about like very small indie brands, but sometimes things just aren't what you expected, and it's just a case of that, and I just don't like it. So the rest of the look, I do really like it. I honestly really like these lashes, and I hate that I like them so much because it might make me want to wear them more often, and I know a lot of you like that I don't wear lashes, but I still think it looks kind of good. So that's gonna be it for this palette bingo. Don't forget to check out Betty Jean's channel. She did message me and say that her look came out really cute, so I'm very excited to see what she did. So please go ahead and check out her channel. She will of course be linked up in the eye as well as down in my description box. So thank you so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and if you want to see some more palette bingos that I've done, here's my playlist, and hopefully I will see you all in my next one. Bye.